Good morning. So, excuse me for the sweat. I just got out of the gym. So today is it's Friday. So I'm so glad that I began this year with. I only work 4 days a week now, so I have every Friday off. But I try to keep a routine, and I try to get up early in the morning and go to the gym, and go home and do some things around the house, and then go to my church. We do food distribution every Friday afternoon around 1:30 or so, and so we all get together as a group, and we put the food together and we hand it out to the needy. And the need is really bad in the United States, in my community too. When we started this ministry out last year, it was exactly a year ago. We have maybe 30-40 people show up. Last week we had at least 140, and we gave out over 300 bags of food. So anyway, so the need is great. I wasn't planning on doing this, but I'm gonna attach my church's website, and if you feel it in your heart, or if you can, to donate whatever you can to whatever you want, to whatever ministry it may be. We're trying to collect some funds to get our own church building. Right now we lease a place, but yeah. So anyway, so that wasn't the purpose of my video. So that's where it went. So I have a question for you. The topic of my video is Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. Are they secure? And I know many people who are in that sphere, who are in the crypto field, and they say yes, it's secure. And I remember about 4 years ago, I was working at this company. There was this young man, his name was James, and he started getting into crypto, and he just kept preaching to me, crypto. And I'm like, yeah, whatever. He goes, the government can't touch it, they can't regulate it, they can't do, they can't. He was just going on and on. And you know what? And he was right. And he was 100% correct. But I said to him back then, just give them time. Give them time. They will get to it. Believe me. If the government sees that people are doing things to make money, and they're not getting their slimy claws on it, they'll do something about it. So anyway, fast forward to right now, 2024. And I have some people who are trying to get me to buy into crypto, and I'm thinking about it. I'm probably gonna dabble in it a little bit, but I do a lot of research before I dive into anything. I mean, I'm gonna use not an analogy, but personal experience here, and I'm gonna get just a tiny bit religious on you. I was saved. I came to Jesus Christ in 2010, and back then I had a lot of people tell me, "Oh, you should get baptized. You should get baptized. You should get baptized." And they were going on and on and on. And I was like, "I will." And my pastor asked me, "Well, why aren't you getting baptized?" And I said to him, because I've seen too many people come and go in churches, and in that church that I was attending at the time, I've seen too many people come and go, and they're on fire for the Lord, and they're passionate about it, and this is what they want to do, and 6 months later, they're gone. They're nowhere to be found. They're back in the world, living their life the same way they were before, or even worse. So I said to him, if this relationship that I've started with Jesus Christ, which to me is the most important relationship in my life, if this person, Jesus, who the Bible is telling me about, is real, then I know he'll be there when I'm ready to be baptized. So I was baptized 2 years later, because I was like, okay, it's kind of like, like when you're dating somebody, you don't just say, let's get married. You date them, you find out who they are, and see if what they're saying about themselves is true. Same thing with my faith and my relationship with Jesus Christ. The Bible tells me completely who he is, and you know what? It's true. And he works in my life the way that he says, and he promises that he will. So anyway, back to cryptocurrencies, all right? I research a lot, because I want to make sure that all these things that people are telling me are true. So I do so much researching and digging into it, and my wife tells me, you go too deep into things. And you know what? If that's a flaw of mine, it is, but I always want to make sure that whatever I commit to, I'm not well versed, but at least versed a little bit, that I know enough so that I won't be taken advantage of, or I won't dive into something foolishly. So cryptocurrencies, yes, and Bitcoin, it's safe and secure, but the SEC just passed something a couple of weeks ago, maybe like 2 months ago, 3 months ago, where now cryptocurrencies can be traded on the exchanges. What does that mean? That means that eventually they're going to get their hands on it. And those who think that, hey, I'm safe, I'm secure, listen, it's only a matter of time. So, so now they're going to do that. So what do they want to do? What are governments, what are people in power, what are the elites, what do they want to do? They want to control you. So they do a little bit at a time. I mean, think back to COVID and, how they told you, take this shot and it's good for you. It's going to help you. It's going to be, safe for you. And, anyway, I don't want to get into that, but we know what happened. It's the same thing with this, guys. I mean, they're telling you it's safe. They're telling you it's secure. It's very secure. But as soon as these, what they call ETFs, as soon as they were available on the exchange, guess who started diving in and buying billions of dollars worth of them? Yes, the big giant, hedge funds and the big giant real estate moguls and, people like Vanguard and BlackRock, most of all. And you see that buying billions and billions. Well, why are they doing that? If these companies have so much money, if they're so rich, why are they diving into crypto? Because they want to take it out of the market. They want to grab the majority. They want to have the control of it. Okay, so anyway, I'm still not even an amateur. I'm not even a novice. I mean, I know very little about it, but I do read a lot. I do watch a lot of podcasts, especially economics and things like that. So I was watching this morning a video, and that's what led me to post this. It's a video from 2 weeks ago. It's by Whitney Webb was being interviewed. If you don't know who Whitney Webb is, if you're in the crypto sphere and you don't know who Whitney Webb is, then I don't know what to tell you. But if you're not into crypto and you want to know who Whitney Webb is, just look her up. I'm not going to go into it here. Look her up. But this young lady will give you more truth than the mainstream media. This young lady will give you more truth than any politician, than any government out there. This young lady is an independent reporter, and she's really, really good. So in this interview, she goes on to talk about how there's going to be a huge cyber attack. And Klaus Schwab of the World Economic Forum himself, he said it, that before 2025, there's going to be a huge cyber attack that's going to make the COVID pandemic look like kids play. And you know what? When these people say things like this, you got to pay attention, because they're just telling you what they're planning on doing. And for those of you in the United States, today is Friday, February 23rd. For those of you who are in the United States, many of you have heard or know that yesterday, I believe, it was yesterday, Thursday, there was a huge cyber attack. A lot of phone services were lost around the whole country. It wasn't like everybody, but it was enough people where it made the news and where people were talking about it. And a lot of the guys or people that I follow in the prepper community talked about it. And some of them were saying exactly what I believe. They said this could be a dry run. This could just be a test run to what they're really going to do, which is going to be a major cyber attack where everything's going to go down. And, if you're not prepared for your, electronics, if you're not prepared for, everything being shut down, if you're not prepared for at least a couple of weeks, I'm going to pray for you. Right? You need to get prepared. And I'm not trying to scare you or anything. I'm just saying you need to get prepared to, God forbid, something happens and you can't get to the ATM. There's no power. You can't get gas. You can't, do certain things. You don't have electricity. You got to have a plan. What am I going to do? Well, what am I going to do? So anyway, Whitney Webb goes on to explain a lot of this stuff. And as I look at what happened yesterday with this, with these cell services going down, I think about a company that I worked for. I worked for a company, for this big company, huge company, a couple of years ago. And I worked for them for a good amount of years. And what we used to do is, the company was so big that whenever they wanted to try a new system, new operating procedures, or something, new policies, something that they wanted to do, they wouldn't just go and roll it out to everybody and have everybody do it. We used to do what was called pilot programs. And we would say, okay, let's take this crew, this group of employees, or we would take this department, or we would take this certain areas and just try it on them and see how it works. And then we would see how it worked. And then we would, gather together after running for a couple of weeks, months, and gather together all the management and say, okay, what glitches did we have? What things do we need to address? And we would see, okay, these things need to be addressed. Oh, everything worked great. Let's go full blown with it. Well, as I said, many people in the prepper community believe that, you know, this is a trial run. And it worked because there were a lot of people complaining. Some of the podcasters I listened to, they were saying that, you know, they were getting SOS signs on their cell phones and they had no access. So anyway, so to me, that was a trial run. So what are they going to do next? And my purpose of this video is that you need to be prepared for whatever's coming. And for those of you who are in the crypto sphere, those of you who, you know, live and die by crypto, and everything that you do is using the cryptocurrency, you need to plan. You need to plan also, because I know you think that your crypto is safe. The government can't get to it. Well, neither can you if the whole system goes down, because you need electronics. You need power. You need computers. You need these things to be able to access your funds. And if it goes down, you're worse off than the homeless person who's on the street if you're not prepared, if you don't have something to back you up. I'm talking about maybe some cash, because I know some people who say they don't use cash, they only use crypto. You know, some food, you know, these people are just, many people in the crypto industry that I see, I'm not saying that's all of them, but many that I see, they're living the lavish life. They're out there partying, they're hanging out, they're buying expensive cars and clothes. But I think, what are they doing to prepare in case, you know, what they know goes under? Even temporarily, even if it's only for a couple of days or weeks, what are you going to do? Are you going to go to a restaurant? You can't, because you can't access your funds. The restaurant might not even be open because they might not be able to make your food. They might not be able to prepare things. So, you know, we need to really plan and think ahead. What are these people planning? So I highly encourage you to go watch this video that I'm going to link. It's Whitney Webb's video. And the things that this young lady says is so on point. And she's really, really bright. And, you know, she also, it's funny because I never knew she did this. But she talks about, you know, preparing yourself. And she talks about that she bought some land, and, you know, that she grows some of her food, which to me was really shocking. She's not in the United States. She's in Chile. She mentions it, that she lives in Chile now. But it's really amazing. So, you know, my purpose of this video is for those of you who are in a crypto sphere, to open your eyes that, listen, yeah, you're making the money, but what are you doing with the money? What are you doing with the funds that you have? You need to plan accordingly. Take care, my friends.